non-otaku.
I would add our own trigger warning here and just say if you've grappled with being bullied or are dealing with depression or thoughts of self-harm, like this is not the anime for you. Like seek professional help, like get well, and unless you feel ready to re-explore some of those issues, like you don't have to watch this. And if you're not, but you're interested in seeing like those types of situations portrayed or experiencing some empathy for people who are going through like really gnarly family situations, then this is a great show that's not what it appears based on the titular character Takopi. It's really heavy and like pretty dark and kind of sad.
Welcome back to 2AM OTTACK. I'm your host Mayu, a born and raised Japanese non-otaku, and
I'm Cisco, an American otaku.
In this podcast, we share reviews of anime and the manga through distinct perspectives with commentary on Japanese culture, history, and language. Cisco.
Yep.
This manga recorded the most views as a series on Jump Plus at the time. Despite all the cuteness from the images and the octopus-looking character, the story is something you wouldn't expect.
That's true.
This is something I think people shouldn't really avoid seeing or talking about, but it's hard to watch. Yeah. The good news is there are only 2 tankobons in total, and only 6 episodes in anime.
Okay. We're already a third of the way there.
Right. So I think we can do this. So today we are going to talk about
Takopi's Original Sin.
We will introduce about the new anime series Takopi's Original Sin, including the plot, amazing opening and ending theme songs with some background story and our thoughts, plus today's word of the day. Before we start, we'd like to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, questions, or even suggestions that we should talk about. Send us message to the email in the description, or you can use Spotify and the YouTube comment section as well. Okay, Cisco, could you give us a summary of Takopi's Original Sin?
Like the plot?
The plot.
Okay, so there's an alien from planet Happy who comes to Earth in a spaceship and arrives in Japan in like a vacant lot or like near a playground, I guess. And the alien encounters a young girl named Shizuka who is spending a lot of time in the park. And it's about their relationship. Takopi's mission as a happy alien or whatever is to make people happy. And Takopi has a range of different magic items to try and do that with. So kind of channeling some Doraemon vibes in the beginning.
Well, it's definitely Doraemon vibe because Takopi looks like a cute round animal kind of thing, creature.
Right.
And then the girl's name is Shizuka.
Oh, got it.
And then that happens in a park, not only a regular park, but they have like
pipes or whatever.
The pipe, big
concrete,
things like so. And Takopi has like some like new tool to use. So it has
hard Doraemon vibes in the beginning. Yeah.
Right. And there's a reason why.
Okay.
The manga artist wanted to make something like Doraemon, but it's dark.
And they succeeded.
Yeah.
I think, like, interestingly, this is probably just me, but I was first exposed to this manga artist's work via the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins, which was a manga that ran in regular Jump for, 30-ish chapters, maybe a little bit more. So whereas I think had I come to this manga first, it would have really taken me by surprise. Because I happen to have seen this manga artist's later work first, I was less surprised by the direction of this anime than I would have been otherwise.
Those like stories are not related.
They're not related. They have similar titles. In fact, the titles are so similar that when you first told me about this being an anime, I thought it might be an animated version of the other manga with like a slightly different title for some reason. I was like, I don't remember Takopi being in it at all, but maybe, it says like Deadly Sin or whatever. Maybe it's a similar thing. So I think, and that manga deals with some of the same topics as this one. So there's clearly like some specific things on this manga artist and, writer's mind that they want to explore.
So when you first see this anime, the first thing you see is a disclaimer.
Right.
A trigger warning. Trigger warning. There's a description of like about sensitive stuff. So
Right.
just be aware.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything about this. Like almost every time I watch anime, I don't have any information, and I start
Mm-hmm.
watching. And
Yeah,
so
you're just
like
like, oh, I
when
wonder
I
what this is.
exactly, I thought something like kind of cute thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like that. And
Right.
then Netflix, the rating is 18 plus.
Yeah, that feels appropriate, honestly.
That makes so much sense. So like as you start watching, it's pretty dark and then depressing from the very beginning.
Yep.
And
I would say
then
that's true.
it's just like heartbreaking to
Mm.
keep watching. And the first episode is not 23 minutes or anything. It's like about 40, like close to 40 minutes. It's long.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of stuff happening, including appearance of Takopi, who is an alien from other planet, try to make happy.
Try to make people happy.
And he is acknowledged alien, but he doesn't necessarily have, no, you wouldn't say that.
No, I think given that this alien species is capable of interstellar travel, they like spent shocking little time studying the rest of the universe and trying to figure out what like other intelligent life forms were like. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you were an alien and you could travel from like between the stars, don't you feel like you would also be able to be like, okay, like we're on a mission here. We're going to do like some intelligence gathering before we just jump in.
Yeah. To me, Takopi is like a plain paper. Like he can talk, he can understand language, but he's like a common sense or like what's happening on Earth is like plain paper. He doesn't have much information.
Yeah, I think
So like
the phrase you're looking for here is blank slate.
blank slate.
Yeah, instead of plain paper, I think what you mean is blank slate. Like he doesn't have any experience or like knowledge yet.
Right.
And so he's learning everything. The more correct term in Latin is tabula rasa. But that means blank slate. That's like the English translation is blank slate, but it means like
Okay.
not having any prior experience.
Okay. So Takopi is blank slate and he
Yeah.
doesn't have I guess the planet the Takopi lives in is like really, really happy and then there's no bad things happening. So like Takopi seems very pure
Right.
and don't know anything about what's going on Earth or like human relationship or society.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know, like it's hard to watch, like it's frustrating. Like Takopi, come on, like this is common sense. You gotta do something better.
Yeah, I find Takopi frustrating, right? Because
Yeah.
Takopi does seem to be able to like understand expressions of happiness and sadness, but like is very slow to like correctly categorize how the humans around them are feeling, right?
Yeah. Because like she's got just gets basically beaten every single day, and the Takopi is trying to solve the problem, but Takopi is not doing anything better
Yeah.
except not killing her.
Yeah. Takopi's kind of useless in at least the first 2 episodes.
And so you have to keep watching. Like she's gonna get kicked by the girl. What's her name?
Marina.
Marina. Yeah, and it's hard to watch, and even with her, every word she says is like really hurting. Little kids don't talk like that unless their parents talk like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes they pick it up from like other things in
TV.
culture or people. Yeah. I mean, I think her parents do talk like that, and that's why that's where some of that's coming from for her specifically. But yeah, kids pick up like influences from lots of different places, and we don't know that much about Marina's story yet. So it sure seems like it's coming from her parents, but it could be from other places too.
Yeah, the good thing about this story is like they include not only Shizuka main girl, but also Marina's background story we're about to unwrap. And
Right.
then I think most
Well,
of the
maybe.
a lot of the like actual bullying and bullies cases, there's like something going on there in their family.
Yeah, sometimes. It's for sure a reason kids bully other people is because like they're expressing like their own inner turmoil and trying to take it out on somebody else. But I don't know that it's always that. Sometimes bullies are just insecure for like kind of no good reason and are horrible to other people without like a defensible explanation.
Yeah, there will be only 6 episodes, and then we watched already 2 of them. And then after watching the second episode, we don't know what the story is gonna go. Like, cause like big thing happened at the end of second episode.
Yeah, I mean, already the series has taken some pretty big twists, right? Where you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And so it's definitely not a show where you watch it and you're like, oh, this is pretty much what I expected, right? It's got a lot of moments where you're sort of taken by surprise and then things develop in a way that you didn't see coming.
I think this is divided into two. Like some people say, "Oh, this is like great anime and the manga." Other people like this makes me feel sad and is sick. I don't even want to watch or read. Yeah, kind of similar vibe as like Fire. What do you call Grave in
Grave of the
Firework.
Fireflies.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Nobody watches Grave of the Fireflies and is like, that was great. Can I watch it again? Like,
I mean,
I
it's
guess,
a great story.
yes, it's a very important movie and
Yeah.
like it's a very moving, like emotional film, but it is not like no one is watching Grave of the Fireflies and like that was so fun, right? Like
No.
some people are like, I can't even bring myself to watch this because it's so depressing. And other people are like, it's so sad, but it's good. But like no one is like, that was fun. Like I love this movie. Like, right?
So I'm telling you, this is the same as this, like Takopi's
Yeah.
original sin. Yeah, I
Totally.
don't know. It might become happier after second episode. I doubt
I mean,
it.
I will say, I don't think I can predict where this is going to go, but it would be like truly bizarre for the first two episodes to be this heavy and dark, and then for episodes 3 through 6 to be like, and then it all worked out and we went to an amusement park and just had fun. That would also stun me. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking if I was watching this and I'm a little bit younger, maybe 10 to 20 years younger than my actual age, I would be just furious, like just mad about Marina. Like, how dare, I can't believe. And then now I'm older, I just get frustrated, more sad side
Right.
rather than like, how dare you, this girl, like I can't believe. Because like I'm trying to see from the like in a big scale.
Right.
And then Marina, in this case, has like some story going on with her own parents. Very complicated story. And then that makes me sad too.
Oh, totally. That her life is also very depressing. I think I'm probably in the boat of being like, this isn't like forgivable. Like, I don't care that your life is messed up. Like, you can't abuse other people around you. Like, that's not okay. And so I think, like, I don't know that my reaction to Marina is like rage or anger exactly, but it is like disgust. And like, I acknowledge that she's having a hard life and like her family situation is also very bad and she should definitely get some help. But I don't think that translates into sympathy for like her taking those feelings out on other people around her. But I don't know. I also feel like I have a pretty low like threshold for like tolerance of bullying. Like it's one of those things that really like sets me off. So
yeah. All right. Let's talk about the theme songs, which I like both of them.
Yeah.
Like an ending and opening.
I am shocked to hear you say that about the opening, honestly.
I know, because it's by Ano-chan. There's a reason.
Okay.
The opening theme song is Happy, Lucky, Chappy.
Yeah.
And performed by Ano-chan. She wrote and made the song. You know, she's a little bit famous for being bullied when she was in middle school.
Really?
Yeah. She stopped going to school for like a year or so.
Why? I mean, getting bullied, but what was she bullied about?
I'm not sure the details, but that's what she said. She was bullied, and she also like joined bullying other kids because that was, I think, easier.
Right.
But she got disgusted by the fact, like the whole bullying stuff, so she stopped going. She knows how it feels to be bullied, and then I like her lyrics a lot, especially the chorus part. It says, 腐ってるのは地球の方だからうまく歩けない.
The earth is rotten, so it's hard to walk?
Yeah. It's not your fault. You can't walk properly because of you, but I think it's like because of the other parts, like surroundings.
Got it. Your interpretation of those lyrics is her saying it's not the fault of the person who's, depressed or getting bullied, that it's hard to like be alive. It's the world around you that's like causing that problem. Yeah.
So I like that one. And I don't think she released a music video for this yet. And on the other hand, the ending theme song is called Garasu no Sen.
Garasu. Yeah.
ガラスの線. Can you translate this?
It just means the glass lines.
Okay.
It's sort of not clear. Like I'm having trouble understanding like what kind of glass lines we're talking about here. Like, is this an etching of like a person's face? Is it like a literal glass, like a cup that's got like some lines in it? Is it a stained glass window? That's sort of unclear from the title, and the music video did not fully clear it up for me.
I think this means just how fragile if you make a line by glass.
Okay.
So that's my interpretation.
Well, isn't there something with like yubio, like, you know, tadoru, like the fingers are following the glass lines? Where are the glass lines leading? Or like why are the glass lines? Like yubio tadoru can mean like putting your finger like along like a drawing line, right?
Follow the
Like
line with your finger.
Like follow the line with your finger. And so like often that's when there's like a drawing or something. And so that made me wonder, is this like a sculpture made out of glass or like an etching where like there are lines in glass where you're sort of touching the glass and like following the lines in it? Or, I mean, you know, sometimes you'll have like a cup that's got some designs or like some lines on it that you can kind of like, you know, trace your finger up and down. And there's a glass is featured sort of prominently at the end of the music video. So I was like, oh, maybe that's the connection. But yeah, that part is, I think, deliberately unclear.
This is by Tele, Tele, and it's a solo, like a one person.
Just one guy, yeah.
Project. I like the music video. It looks like old time, like a 80s, 90s, like home video style and handmade music video.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Feels like someone shot this on like not even their iPhone, like their dad's camcorder when they in like 1991, you know, with like camera shake. And then there's a lot of like printed out pieces of paper stuck everywhere.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I liked that actually. It was it's so low budget. It's like they didn't have a budget. They were just like, we're not gonna. So the record label was just like, sorry, like we're not gonna give you any money, but like if you want to shoot your own music video, like I guess we'll like post it or something.
It looks like a high school band or like indie band in 90s try to make their own music video.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
And
the highest.
Like that.
Yeah. It's like a real throwback vibe.
Right.
And it goes well with the feeling of the song.
Definitely. Yeah, so check those like songs out on YouTube, and I can put music on Spotify. So if you go to our Spotify page and scroll down, you'll see the songs that you can play from there too.
Nice.
All right, let's do today's word of the day.
OTTACK, word of the day.
Today's word of the day is, I think we should do ijime.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. What is ijime?
Ijime means bullying. And Japanese bullying is a little different than American bullying, although whatever, all bullying is bullying, I guess. But it can take some specific and unique forms in Japan. Whereas I think like American bullying, like the classic idea of what that looks like is someone being like, give me your money or I'll beat you up. Or like, you know, somebody just like saying a lot of really bad things about somebody else, especially like behind their back, like maybe to their face, but like mostly behind their back, or like starting rumors and stuff. Like those are all forms. Well, I don't know. The rumors thing is like, sometimes I'm not sure it's all the way to bullying. It's just people being in a fight with each other, right? If like everybody is doing it against a particular kid, then it feels like it's more like bullying. Whereas like, I think a lot of times, maybe this is just the context that I'm in, one kid will say a mean thing about a kid to another kid, and the kid that the thing was said about was being like, I'm being bullied. And it's like, no, like you're in a fight with somebody, and like both of you are saying mean things about each other to your other friends. Like bullying is like if all of your friends all of a sudden decide to shun this one person, or like they're getting like beat up like after school by like a crowd of people. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think that's American bullying looks like that. Japanese bullying is often pretty subtle. Like it'll just be a lot of people ignoring someone and sort of giving them the silent treatment and like refusing to admit that they exist, which is like weirder and kind of like more hardcore, right? And like very, I don't know, it's there's a lot of like, it's usually like a group activity. And I think in the Japanese educational system, it can be like hard for kids to kind of be upstanders for each other in the way that like that's really taught in America. So when someone's being bullied, it's kind of rare to see other kids like step up and like call out the bullying and like do stuff about it, right? And whereas like America has mandatory reporting laws, I guess I don't know if Japan has mandatory reporting laws or not, But like, there's definitely a trope in anime, and particularly in this one, of like teachers not caring and just being like, I'm not going to do anything about this situation. Sometimes that's explained by like teachers thinking that students have to work out their problems themselves, or this like cultural attitude that like the group has to solve the problem as a group rather than like the individual teacher weighing in and like fixing the problem for the kids, which is just I don't think that is how most American teachers feel. Like, I'm sure there are bad teachers in America who might see bullying happening and not do anything about it, but I think particularly in like an elementary school classroom, American parents are really likely to be like, I insist that you do something about this situation, and like get the administration and stuff involved. And like at a public school or with busy parents, like they may not be able to handle that. But like in that situation, if someone's especially getting like physically abused, and the teacher should be able to see that and doesn't take it to Child Protective Services, like they can go to jail. So it feels like the amount of response is kind of different to this issue in the two different countries.
So bullying is ijime, and ijimeko is how do you say it in English?
Is that the person who's being bullied?
No, who
or
bullies?
The bully? Okay, so that's the bully. Yeah.
Ijimeko, yeah. Ijime-rareko is someone who is being bullied. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are a little bit different forms. All right. Before we end, would you like to add anything?
I mean, I would add our own trigger warning here and just say, if you've grappled with being bullied or like, are dealing with depression or thoughts of self-harm, like this is not the anime for you. Like, seek professional help, like get well, and like unless you feel ready to re-explore some of those issues, like you don't have to watch this. And if you're not, but you're interested in seeing like those types of situations portrayed or experiencing some empathy for people who are going through like really gnarly family situations, then this is a great show that's not what it appears based on the titular character, Takopi. It's really heavy and like pretty dark and kind of sad.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you want to understand Japanese bullying, I think, and like the forms that it takes.
Right. And then there are more elementary school kids in Japan who commit suicide every year.
Wait, really? The number is going up?
The number is going up.
Wow. Because the number of Japanese elementary schoolers is going down really fast.
Yes.
So the fact that the suicide rate is going up among a population that's already decreasing a lot is like very troubling.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this anime is not for everyone, but I'll keep watching. And I want to know what's going to happen and how the anime wants to, describe about this social matter.
Yeah, I think seeing how it gets resolved is also going to be really interesting, and whether it takes sort of a traditional Japanese resolution to this type of situation, or whether it contests the like typical narrative of what happens after bullying, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, but like not only the story tells the bully's side of the story, but also Takopi like kind of faked Shizuka. Takopi was like, everything's gonna be okay. I just need to have a conversation with her. And then, Takopi was get beaten. And then after that, like Takopi was like, can't move, can't say anything because Takopi was terrified. And then kind of telling people what was happening in like people who are bullied. And then, Takopi was telling that in the story.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like an interesting question as to whether Takopi is meant to be Shizuka's like own sort of inner self.
Imagination,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as imagination exactly, but like whether Takopi is meant to like represent like her sort of inner feelings of like not being able to sort of stand up for herself, or whether Takopi is a stand-in for actual other people in society who are too afraid to be upstanders because they don't want to get targeted themselves, or who like have the experience of trying to like upstand for a friend and then just get smacked down and are like, oh hell no, I'm not experiencing that again. Like, I guess I'm not going to defend this after all,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope to talk about this at least one more time.
Yeah. Okay.
See.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you liked this week's episode, please give us good reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or like and leave a comment on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and follow 2am-otack and 3am-otack. It'll keep us making more fun episodes. See you next time for more 2am-otack.